one of the things that kind of is peppered throughout the book is this conversation about how do you define what a free solo is. Like it in some ways it sort of seems like people get to this, like if you're walking to your mailbox kind of a thing, you're free soloing, and some of those seem like extreme arguments to me to sort of justify, what free soloing is. And I've kind of talked about, I talk about the accidental free solo, but technically I'm not free soloing. Like if I feel like I'm free soloing, if I have, if I'm about 30 feet above my last piece of protection, it'll be at least a 60-foot fall, right? So in my mind, like free soloing is if you're in a situation where if you were to fall and potentially die, get very badly injured, maybe that's getting into like the free soloing realm. I mean, obviously the purist would be, well, no, you're on a rope and that rope's going to stop you. So, Jeff, you want to talk a little bit about the definition of your thoughts about the definition of free soloing?
Different people have had different definitions of it. It's anything from, anything, if you're high enough to fall and be seriously hurt or killed, you're free soloing. Up to 80 feet off the ground. And 80 feet is like extreme. I think that's like the upper end of what people were saying free soloing really was. I think I follow John Backer's definition. There's that story of him at the gas station in the valley. Somebody walked up to him and said, "Hey, that free soloing stuff you do is crazy." And he said, "You're free soloing right now." But his definition, he defined it by zones. There were 3 zones of free soloing. Any climbing was free soloing, but according to his definition, zone 1 would be like bouldering, where if you fall off, you can fall off more than once and you probably aren't going to get hurt unless you're unlucky. Zone 2 was the typical free soloing that might happen in Joshua Tree, where you have things that are 30 to 50 feet high, where if you fall, you'll probably get messed up. They might carry you out, but you'll probably live. Like spider line, one of the routes I talk about, Rick Kashner fell off of that while free soloing, and he was bleeding and had a head injury and broke his wrist or something like that, but it didn't kill him. So that would be a zone 2 free solo. And then zone 3 was anything high enough where if you fell off, you were very likely to be killed. To me, the definition is kind of like that, it when you see it. If you don't feel like you're at any risk, you're probably not free soloing. If you feel like you're at some risk, it's probably free soloing. And if you definitely think if you fall off, you're definitely in the no fall zone, you're definitely doing it. So there's an argument that some highball bouldering is free soloing.
Yeah, I agree with all of that. But I more concentrate on the free. For me, soloing is always about the freedom. You're free of gear, even other people's expectations. You're on your own. The decisions are yours. But free soloing, it's just at another level. And I think that's a part of its appeal, because the freedom that you feel when you're in that state of being up there on your lonesome, trying to work out who you are, what you're going to do, and how you're going to get to where you need to go. And, in regards to danger, all the things that you just said, Jeff, of course. And I read the parts of John Backer's 3 levels, and I would agree with that too. But I think the freedom is the big part of what soloing is for me. Those feelings that it provides the climber, and the appeal and the danger.